where we're looking for 2 good shoots.
Yep, we got 1.
Looking for 2 good shoots, Matt. 2.
We have 2 good shoots.
2 good shoots. This is a good thing. Adjusting for the wind. And in just a few moments, we'll be asking you to stand as able. And join Staff Sergeant Merrick Crispin, with the national anthems. For our Canadian performers, we welcome them with the Canadian national anthem. And of course, the national anthem coming up in just a moment as well, as they drift even closer now to the ground. Sunday morning way to get things started.
And now the anthem.
All right, Merrick, please rise as able for the Canadian national anthem. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our hearts command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Beautifully done, Mark. Please remain standing, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, you can give a round of applause to our first jumper by all means. Make some noise. And now, the national anthem. There it is. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? How outstanding is that?
A massive round of applause for the Golden Knights and for our national anthem singer, Rick Peterson. It is time.
They have these smaller parachutes. We're going to see some of that. We're going to see a lot of free falling and some very daring stuff too, with a parachute cutaway, and it goes on from there, and that's just to get us started. And then we've got such a show lined up for you. Centerpoint Energy Dayton Airshow, presented by Kroger. What an afternoon this is going to be.
Absolutely. The Golden Knights, their cost offset by our friends at MTSI. We'll tell you more about them here in just a few moments as well. Golden Knights now making the final preps down here on the left. We're going to wait for
The narrator's dropping in.
well, they're down there. You can see Shelby and the rest of them grabbing the microphone. Now we're waiting on the aircraft that's up there somewhere, way up there in that cool,
Crisp,
dry air.
beautiful air. Perhaps the most beautiful air in the world.
If you're thirsty, you can just open your mouth and breathe in and drink today with this humidity that we have down here. But Shelby, she's making her way over with
Shelby,
with the microphone.
There's a
Here's the
swooper
video.
right there. There's the swooper that went by the hotel balcony yesterday.
Yeah. Okay, still has a Marriott towel in his pocket, I think. He grabbed it right off of my hand, coming by.
The American paratrooper, born of fire in the skies of World War II, more than 80 years ago, has since struck fear and terror in the hearts of those foolish enough to oppose them. Relentless in their skill and courage, not only in the air, but also on the ground, these brave soldiers have forged for themselves a place of honor in America's hearts. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sergeant First Class Shelby Gennari, originally from New Wilmington, Pennsylvania. It has been my proud honor flying in our nation's colors on this, my 603rd free fall parachute jump. I will describe for you today a demonstration of precision free fall as performed by members of your United States Army parachute team, the Golden Knights. At this time, members of the Gold demonstration team are circling high overhead and are distinctively painted C-147 aircraft at an altitude of 10,000 feet. If you look up though right now, you will see one of our tandem passengers, Miss Katie Mitchell, coming in for her first tandem skydive. Make some noise as she experiences this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Gaining as much lift as humanly possible, but it is nearly incomparable to the wingsuit's performance. Once into flight, the wingsuit inflates and pressurizes around the jumper. With this additional flying surface, he glides, much like a flying squirrel, through the air at speeds of over 180 miles per hour. His glide ability may be so great that he would not make the landing area if he were to continue flying at the same trajectory. Watch as he turns and is flying right past the other jumper, who is already under parachute. The wingsuiter will now dive aggressively to a speed of over 200 miles per hour. Watch as he pulls out of the dive, gains altitude, and opens his main parachute. From mythology to children's books, angels and birds, mankind has always dreamt of flight. The human form, taking flight on wings of our own, has long captivated the imagination of many. This dream of human flight is a reality for the wingsuiter. The Eiffel Tower in 1912 is recognized as the first attempt to fly a wingsuit. The first prototype wingsuits were showcased together in 1999 at the World Free Fall Festival. After the turn of the millennium, commercial designs became available. And now we have wingsuits that are airlocked and pressurized as they inflate via ram air around the wingsuiter. Wingsuits can reach a glide ratio of 3:1 and are capable of gaining altitude in their flight profile of up to 100 meters of climb before either returning to a descent or opening their main parachutes. Wingsuits can also match the descent rate of high-performance canopies and fly with them in formation. Although capable of the same glide as a parachute, a wingsuit jump still requires the use of a parachute. The next dream is the ability to routinely land with just a wingsuit. In 2010, former Golden Knights Staff Sergeant Ben Border set a wingsuit world record. Exiting at an altitude of 32,000 feet, Staff Sergeant Border traveled 11.5 miles and was in free fall for over 6.5 minutes. At 1,000 feet, this jumper is conducting what is called a wing penetration check, checking his speed and distance across the ground. He then flies a downward leg and a base leg, and on his final approach, he brings it over the target for a beautiful dead center landing. In his smoke as he flies to his opening point. This jumper is wearing 3 parachutes instead of the 2 we normally wear. He will open this first parachute much higher than normal and intentionally cause it to malfunction. Please do not be alarmed when this first parachute begins to straighten. There is absolutely no danger to the jumper. This is our only solo maneuver, yet one of our most exciting. This is a perfectly good parachute and can be landed. However, the jumper will reach up and release one side of the parachute, causing it to malfunction. This jumper is now accelerating earthward at speeds in excess of 90 miles per hour. It would be impossible to survive a landing under this parachute, so he must release it completely, return to free fall, and open his main parachute. This is the same procedure a free fall parachutist would use if they were to have a problem with their main parachutes. The reserve or the auxiliary parachutes used by the Golden Knights are also flexible wing gliders, such as the one you see here. However, there are some differences. It is white in color and is slightly smaller in wing surface area, with a much greater forward speed of up to 30 miles per hour. This enables the jumper to make it back into any tight situation, such as a downtown intersection or a major league stadium. While each of the jumpers will repack their main parachutes, a certified parachute technician must repack the reserve every 180 days, whether it is used or not. The released parachute you see floating earthward will be recovered, untangled, and hooked up to use again. If it does float towards you, please do not attempt to catch or retrieve it. Our recovery team is on its way. Moments ago, these jumpers were more than 2 miles overhead. Thanks in part to the advanced aerodynamic design of these Ram Air parachutes, jumpers can overcome the variability of the wind and land safely in such a small target area. The parachute has 7 openings on the front. These allow air to be forced in, inflating the flexible wing glider. As jumpers near the target, you will see the minor corrections they make in the steering lines. This jumper is keeping a close eye on the windsock located in the target area. It takes a great deal of concentration to land dead center on the target. Once on final approach, this jumper shifts all his concentration to the small black dot the size of a dinner plate located in the center of the orange X. He'll bring it over the target and shut it down for a beautiful dead center landing. The jumpers are out and the smoke is on. We now have 2 jumpers in free fall, rapidly approaching speeds of 120 miles per hour. These jumpers glide apart to gain separation, using their hands, arms, legs, and shoulders as flight controls. Once the jumpers turn and face each other, they will prepare for the baton exchange. Contact has been made, and the 14-inch mahogany baton exchange as they alter their body positions to form 120-mile-per-hour spirals in the sky. Watch as these jumpers separate and open their main parachutes. There you have the high-flying black and gold of your United States Army parachute team, the Golden Knights. Now, as you may have guessed, these jumpers are faced with a unique situation. A traffic jam in the sky. They must gain vertical separation to allow for individual approaches into the target area. This is accomplished by pulling down on the front part of the parachute and spiraling at speeds of over 60 miles per hour. This allows them to set up a traffic pattern, just like you might see aircraft at a busy airport. Mr. Charlie Hillard, former team leader of the Eagles aerobatics team and parachute manufacturer, Mr. Steve Snyder, exchanged the first baton in 1958. It was then believed that two jumpers in free fall could not possibly make contact. The parachutes used by the Golden Knights are flexible wing gliders. Constructed of a lightweight ripstop nylon, these parachutes have inherent forward airspeed of up to 22 miles per hour. Watch as our first jumper brings it into the target. To close off on the dead center, he shuts it down for a beautiful target area landing. 500 square foot Dayton drop flag. This flag is attached to the front of the jumper's harness by 4 attachment points. It takes an extremely skilled canopy pilot, as it is much harder to fly and land in such a small target area. These jumpers train year-round at piloting their parachute, but they always seem to fly better when they can hear the roar of a Dayton Airshow crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise as this jumper brings it in with the drop flag. Unlike the military jet teams, the United States Army parachute team is comprised mostly of non-commissioned officers. If you direct your attention yet again high overhead, you may notice that two parachutes have become entangled with our 900 square foot Army Star drop flag. These parachutes into a downplane by pulling on opposite steering lines. As they reach 200 feet, you may hear the pilot give the command of ready, break. And these jumpers will separate for 1, 2. Beautiful target area landing. The same degree of precision, teamwork, and trust exhibited by the demonstrators and competitors is also exhibited in our elite aviation section. In 1886, the pilots who fly the team's aircraft averaged more than 5,500 flight hours per aviator. United States Army parachute team, the Golden Knights. Now, in keeping with the long-standing Golden Knights tradition, we would like to present today's baton, which was flown in.
And watch now here as they bring this nice twin-engine airplane. Watching now right over the threshold here. No pressure for our Army aviators at this point. Keep an eye. Howard just now coming back. I tell you, tiptoe. Look at this. Just eases it off